and high-tech, man.
Yeah, man.
Isaiah, October 5 and 6 at the National Arena. 1 weekend only. Don't you miss it.
Get Sagicor School Companion Health Plan for as little as $2,540 per month. The time by Sagicor Life is
7 o'clock. CVM News at 7, Headlines Thursday, brought to you by Guardian Life. Live secure, live easy.
Tonight in CVM News at 7, 30,000 Jamaican children aged 10 to 19 found to be hypertensive. ISAT Buchanan selected as PNP caretaker for Portland Eastern, and $20,000 income tax credit program underway.
Also this evening, teacher migration linked to social decline, says JAPS. In the business report, retirees returning to the workforce. While in sports, Women's T20 World Cup, West Indies bow into action on Friday. From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7. I'm Stephen McHugh.
And I'm Carolyn Brown. It's Thursday, October 3, 2024. Thanks so much for joining us. The political heat is rising after the People's National Party announced controversial attorney ISAT Buchanan as its caretaker in Eastern Portland.
Amid festering concerns from the JLP, Buchanan shares extensive plans to revamp Portland and secure a win for the PNP. More from Britannia Witter.
It's official. As CVM News announced weeks ago, ISAT Buchanan has been selected as the People's National Party's standard bearer for East Portland in the upcoming general election. Buchanan, a well-known attorney, was crucial in the release of popular dancehall artist Adidja Vybz Kartel Palmer after more than a decade behind bars. The controversial figure is no stranger to public attention with 2 drug convictions, and in 2023 he was handed a 2-year suspension from the General Legal Counsel for what was described as offensive, profane and vulgar language aimed at DPP Paula Llewellyn. Buchanan was later granted a stay of his 2-year suspension by the Court of Appeal. He was also forced to resign as chairman of the PNP's Human Rights Commission. With the Jamaica Labour Party criticizing the PNP for its choice of candidate, citing the attorney's past, PNP General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell is calling the JLP's condemnation an act of hypocrisy. He insists people deserve a second chance.
It is rank hypocrisy. That's what it is. And I am saying to Jamaican persons out there, those people need a second chance. Those that are caught up in crime and violence, in gang behavior, that we are encouraging to leave that life alone. I'm saying to those persons that you can indeed transform your life and there will be a place in the society for you under our People's National Party government. It's not a government that is going to say that leave the crime, but when you leave it, there is no place for you. I don't know what that is.
Meanwhile, Buchanan emphasizes his commitment to fostering economic growth through the development of the entertainment industry in the parish.
When it comes to entertainment, what I can give you is a promise that development will take place. The entertainment facilities and the entertainment industry, so that the youth will not sit idle and have to be exported for job opportunities, because Portland is a very beautiful parish.
He also plans to address several areas of concern in the constituency.
Taking to the table here, there's a problem with Blue Lagoon, there's a problem with education, economic growth, opportunities for the youth. So I'm listening to them and we're trying to find ways to fix those problems, finding solutions and ensure that every single person is included. That is what is most important for me right now.
His candidacy comes at a crucial time for the PNP as it seeks to regain its strength there after losing the stronghold in 2019. The upcoming general election is constitutionally due in 2025. Buchanan replaces Colin Bell, who resigned last month, citing a lack of support. Bell was selected last August to challenge the governing Jamaica Labour Party's Member of Parliament, Anne-Marie Vaz. Britannia Witter, CVM News.
Meanwhile, following the announcement, many have voiced concerns on Buchanan's appointment, including the Jamaica Labour Party. But the PNP remains steadfast in its decision, as its General Secretary explains. Trisha Kelly picks up that story.
Since the People's National Party PNP Member of Parliament candidate for East Portland Colin Bell stepped away from the task in September, the party has been on a mission to find the next representative. On Tuesday, the PNP announced that attorney-at-law Isat Buchanan will be contesting the seat in the general elections. PNP General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell says it's not the party that randomly decided on Buchanan, but the constituents who requested him.
The people of East Portland called for Isaac Buchanan. And when we did the soundings in the constituency, he has overwhelming support, and he has generated a tremendous level of excitement within the constituency. I went down there on Tuesday night to inform them of his candidacy. They asked when will he be on the ground. We decided there and then that he would be on the ground on Wednesday. And by Wednesday morning, you had several hundred persons out there waiting for him. That level of excitement does not exist anywhere else in any of the other 62 constituencies in the country.
Not long after the PNP's announcement, the party was criticized for its decision, specifically by the government, which bashed them, saying the opposition is in no position to speak on crime, corruption, and ethics. But political analyst Lloyd B. Smith, who agrees Buchanan is a good move for the PNP, says it's a pot-a-cuss kettle situation.
I think the JLP's response is somewhat of an overreaction. Given that when we look at the political history of Jamaica, there have been many instances when persons who have, for one reason or another, been either convicted or faced the law in one way or another, ended up serving as parliamentarians. So I don't see that as a major issue.
Smith reasons Buchanan redeemed himself after serving time for his acts in the past. The former PNP MP also highlighted the similarity of the situation with the U.S. presidential race, in which presidential candidate Donald Trump is still being investigated for felonies. While he believes in full integrity, Smith says the political landscape has quite a way to go, and until it reaches that place, the JLP cannot speak on the matter. However, there are others like social commentator Sandra Roden, who questions whether the PNP chose Buchanan for the people or the party.
His past will be used against him. And if the argument is going to be that there are individuals who would have been convicted in the past and still go on to serve in public life, we must remember that the People's National Party now is selling themselves as a party of great integrity. So that's where the question marks come up. So as I said, there are two sides to the coin. And what we really will see, and I think the people will determine that, I can determine that, I'm just an onlooker, the people determine if it is more a negative than a positive.
Buchanan will face East Portland's Member of Parliament Anne-Marie Vaz in the highly anticipated general elections. Trisha Kelly, CVM News.
As the year draws to a close, the government is hopeful for a season of peace and has urged citizens to refrain from violence. The Minister of National Security, Dr. Horace Chang, while speaking at a Jamaica Labour Party conference, says the JCF will pull out every stop to capture the criminals as the government implements strategies to reduce crime. Courtney Lewis reports.
The JCF is ramping up efforts to reduce crime for the rest of the year. This development is according to National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang, who is making a plea to Jamaicans as the holiday season approaches.
As we move into the next part of the year, you're a good part. Tell your gunman, stop it. Just shoot off your gun. No need for that. You're allowed to continue to do your thing. Play your music, have your fun, entertainment, play the game. Feeling like they put sunlight, football till 2 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock all night. But no fire, no gun on the street, that kill your brethren.
He was speaking at a divisional meeting of the Jamaica Labour Party in Trelawney, making reference to incidences of crime which have impacted Jamaican social life. Dr. Chang asserts confidence in the JCF to remand the troublemakers.
We know who out there in trouble, and if you find a gun, we will lock down the place, we will find you and take him off the street. I said already, you can't hide but you can't run.
The minister also boasts a decline in crime in the last 7 months, attributing the drop to improved resources and police infrastructure.
We have recruited 6,000 police officers, give a net increase of 3,000 plus, so we can put more policemen on the road so we can deal with crime that affect people in Jamaica. Give everybody a chance. Once more for the people to be able to play domino on the street light and go to the crime meet now Wednesday night and free people go around. And as we proceed, I know the force is motivated. I don't interfere in their work. I provide them support. I change the law, give them better firearms act, other legislation being approved and passed to give them the right tools to work with legislatively and physically.
As crime decreases, the expectation for further development in Trelawney increases, as the minister listed his plans to improve crime-fighting efforts, making Falmouth what he hopes to be a new urban center.
Take a little while because you have to get the money right. And now we're getting it right. We're going to build the new town center and we're going to rebuild Falmouth as the peer visitors that will become a major resort center.
Courtney Lewis for CVM News.
Stay with us. Lots more to come from CVM News at 7 after the break.
CVM News at 7 headlines Thursday, brought to you by Guardian Life. Live secure, live easy.
Should critical illness strike, don't let worry fill your head. Say hello to happiness and goodbye to worry with Guardian Life's new Ultimate Provider Plan. Secure your medical expenses in the event of critical illness ahead of time, while benefiting from our investment portfolio and so much more. Give yourself and your family the peace of mind you deserve with Guardian Life's new Ultimate Provider Plan today. And live secure, live easy.
Make home yours every day with Courts. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh, oh, oh. Get value for your money. Ooh, oh, oh. Courts have the best quality. Home is what you make it. Best prices and good credit. Oh, Courts have it all. Oh, yeah.
Courts has what you need to make home yours. You can get it all with easy payment plans using Courts Ready Finance. Courts, make home yours.
Hi everyone, my name is Kurt Dunn.
Greetings from Kali's Kelly Yoga.
Hey, it's Robin Morrison, and I am your National Physical Activity Specialist. And it's time to make a move.
Jamaica, let's get moving again. Season 2 of the Ministry of Health and Wellness Jamaica Move series is here. Join us Wednesdays at 5 a.m. and Saturdays at 8 a.m. right here on CVM TV. Let's get moving.
Make a move now.
CVM News at 7 Thursday, brought to you by
MIBinsure.com today and save serious money.
Welcome back. The government has launched its reverse income tax credit program to give back to Jamaicans. Tax Administration Jamaica, TAJ, says it has identified over 500,000 eligible recipients for the grant. We get more from Adrian Williams.
The government has delivered on its promise to launch its one-off reverse income tax credit program 6 months after its announcement. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark says the one-off $20,000 grant will be offered to taxpayers who earned less than $3 million in 2023. Individuals such as self-employed, pay-as-you-earn, PAYE employees, and domestic workers who meet the earnings criteria and have completed their tax filings and payments for 2023 or NIS stamp card for 2022 by August 31, 2024 are eligible. In his address at the launch on Wednesday, Dr. Clark explains that the program is estimated as and will help low-income earners benefit from the country's economic stability.
Any person who earns under $3 million from whom NHT, ed tax, and other statutory deductions have been made and have been paid over to the TAJ, there is $20,000 in a one-off reverse income tax credit waiting for you. It's available digitally online. All you have to do is spend a few moments filling out the form online, and the payment will be made to your bank.
According to the Commissioner General for the Tax Administration of Jamaica, TAJ, Ainsley Powell, the disbursements of grants will be done through an online system developed by TAJ. He says they have already identified eligible recipients.
We have identified that there's potentially around 580,000 persons who could be eligible or qualify for the tax credit, and so we have geared ourselves to handle that load. We'll continue to collaborate with the financial institutions to ensure that the bank validation, which we expect to be done automatically on the platform, will be fully in place, and that will reduce the failure rate and will have persons receiving the funds.
All applications must be submitted online through TAJ's website between now and December 2. Adrian Williams for CVM News.
Climate change continues to raise concerns among world bodies. The Health Ministry plans to improve local health care, making it more climate resilient. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton emphasized this position at the 76th session of the Regional Committee of the World Health Organization in Washington, D.C. Adrian Williams again has more.
Climate change is a growing concern across the world, not excluding public health systems. Experts say it's caused by extreme conditions such as heat and weather patterns which can lead to flooding. Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher Tufton at the 76th session of the Regional Committee of the World Health Organization in Washington, D.C., highlighted the fundamental need to make the healthcare experience more considerate of the climate concerns.
Oftentimes, Jamaicans, or as a people, we take these things for granted. We don't recognize the health effects of these things. So part of the conversation here is around how climate change is impacting our health protocols and what are the new measures that we have to put in place.
Through the ministry's Operation Refresh, community health facilities are being considered for upgrades.
We are doing some things, for example, our smart health facilities in our health centers, where we are now doing things like water harvesting, putting in generator capacity, ensuring that the facilities are built in a particular way that they are not affected, or where we can enjoy cooler temperatures in our wait areas, putting in air conditioning units, for example, under Operation Refresh.
Another strategy the ministry says is aimed at making health facilities more climate resilient is by ensuring regular testing of the air quality is known and treated accordingly.
We often burn our garbage, for example, which we're not supposed to do. The Riverton City dump and some of the fires of outbreaks that we have. A lot of upper respiratory challenges. So one of the new protocols is to put in place systems to measure pollution within the environment. We're doing that, starting that in our health facilities, so that we can take whatever necessary steps to ensure that we have clean air, which clearly will have better outcomes for health conditions. So another big discussion here that I think is beneficial to the people of Jamaica.
Adrian Williams for CVM News.
Now, this is a follow-up as more stakeholders are voicing concerns surrounding teacher migration. Despite recent reports from British paper The Observer of pay disparities and unfavorable working conditions for Jamaican teachers abroad, the president of the Jamaica Association of Principals and Secondary Schools, JAPS, says migration will continue, citing social decline as a major factor. With more on the migration crisis, here's Courtney Lewis.
The principals have joined the conversation surrounding teacher migration, weighing in on not just the financial push factors, but labeling the issue of migration a social concern. Head of the Jamaica Association of Principals of Secondary Schools, Linvern Wright, shares teachers are more likely to chase self-fulfillment as greater opportunities are presented abroad for them and their families.
I think many are being deterred by what is happening in Jamaica, but they are being deterred by the crime. Many, as much as I will say as principals, many are deterred by treatment of some of us as principals. Many are deterred by the way parents deal with them. Many are deterred by the conditions that they have to work in Jamaica. And I think that many of them actually start recognizing how good they are as teachers sometimes when they leave Jamaica.
Making reference to the testimonials of teachers living in England of unequal pay, he believes the pros outweigh the proverbial cons.
The dream of owning a home or paying off for the house or making some money is stronger than their desire to run from something that they consider to be unjust in another society. I understand when they go, less in the UK is not the same as less in Jamaica. So that even if they are getting less pay than somebody else, comparatively speaking, they will take it because they know that if they are sending the money back to Jamaica, they are going to be better in the long run.
He highlights migration is not only an issue within the education sector, pointing to other professions and the state of Jamaica's social environment.
In the minds of many people, the chance to become a better human being, to humanize yourself, to afford things that will give us some dignity in this world, it's better overseas. We have not done sufficient work to make Jamaica a socially habitable place. So people feel like the environment is unkind.
He likens the experience of teachers to the Windrush generation, adding teacher migration is expected to continue. As people seek to lessen debt, Wright also calls for a multi-sectoral approach to improving social conditions.
We just have to make this country far more habitable and a place that gives people that kind of opportunity to become their better selves.
Courtney Lewis for CVM News.
And we'll continue with the business segment right after this.
Papa Jesus, insurance gone up again? Walk up faster. It gas our insurance.
Driver, let's go.
Do you really want to stick with the same old insurer? For the first time in Jamaica, taxis, minibuses, coasters, whatever you drive, MIBinsure.com will find you an insurer who will slash your premium by up to 60%. They all claim to save you money, but only MIB Insure actually can. Switch to MIBinsure.com today and save serious money.
Father, what you doing again?
Writing the opera Isaiah.
Isaiah?
Jamaican opera, master.
Jamaican opera?
Yes. It's about the greatest of prophets.
When is it going to be?
5th and 6th of October.
One
weekend only.
Where can I get my ticket?
You have to check social media, master.
Social media?
Social media.
But father, you got high-tech, man.
Yeah, man.
Isaiah, October 5 and 6 at the National Arena. 1 weekend only. Don't you miss it.
No more fear of missing out. CVM TV News is on YouTube. Get up-to-date news, sports, and business content at CVM TV News anytime, anywhere. Subscribe now to CVM TV News to see it happen.
Fan Central Pitside, brought to you by Edgechem, AIM Financial Corporation, Texaco, and Connex.
Welcome back to CVM News at 7. Now to the Business Report with Joel Crosskill.
Lots to share with you in the Business Report today. An oldie but a goodie as it relates to retirees returning to the labour force. It comes within the context of Jamaica's approach towards full employment. During the Global Services Association of Jamaica annual meeting, under the theme Technology, Competition and Skills Development, Managing and Developing Talent in the Age of Gen Z, held in July. Dr. Tanisha Ingle, Managing Director of the Heart NSTA Trust, spoke on the topic, and the Business Report is now pleased to be able to share her take on the phenomenon.
Jamaica, there's a reality that we must face. On one hand, we have less people being born. The statistics are showing that, right? I don't know if it is the 2 is better than 2 money campaign that works so well, but we're feeling that right now. Less people are having children. On the other hand, we have a growing a population where more of our young people are dying as well. And then in the middle of that, we have some of our very best talent migrating. So we certainly have a challenge in terms of the labor pool. The numbers are just not there. So what is it that we do to solve this challenge? Now, if we look at the retired population, 13.9% of Jamaicans are retired. That's 375,000 people out there who are able-bodied, who are able to do work. We are graduating individuals from the Heart Trust at age 72, 65, 73. We just graduated a 72 and a 73-year-old from our programs.
Though there is no official data to capture the rates at which the trend of retirees returning to the workplace is taking place, Dr. Ingleton is well positioned to provide additional insight.
Individuals who are over the age of 60, who are on the brink of 60, etc. These individuals want to learn. They want to understand what is happening in the spaces. They want to manipulate the technology. They are seeing their lives expanded, doing various things. They don't want to be sitting at home waiting on handouts or, hoping to die because they don't have anything to do. They want to become involved. Okay. So the same way we do the investment in training up, we have that space to do that as well. Okay. Or population that is over the age of 60. We would have seen workplace. It's the first time in history that we have more than 5 generations working together. Okay. It has never happened before. So we have individuals right across the continuum in terms of the generational ages within the workspace. And it is only until we get to understand each generation and devise the systems to respond to each of them that we are going to really start to flourish.
Part of it involves understanding what the traditional corporate structure of the workplace looks like to a Gen Z employee and how best to integrate the experiences and outlook of a multi-generational workforce to leverage the strengths of each, as described by Director of Human Resources at IBEX, Damian Newell.
It's such an interesting time that we're in, and I promise you, I'm not a Gen Z. What we need to understand in terms of their mindset and how, persons such as who you explained think, they are set up to want to become entrepreneurs. They want to own their own business. Do we have an attrition problem? It's simplistic to say yes, but of course, the tools and systems that we put in place within the organization can prevent or stop the bleeding there. So it's about understanding and interpreting why persons don't want to work, why are persons leaving. Fingers can be pointed at leadership, it can be pointed at culture, environment within the organization. But I think from a strategic standpoint, it's important to have a talent management strategy in place within the organization. So what do I mean by that? It's about ensuring that you are planning effectively. I consider it a workforce planning, a 3-year plan, in which case you have to show them the roadmap. Because in the end, yes, they want to have their own business, but there are some skills internally that persons, if owned and developed, it can also help them in the future for what they really want to do.
As succession planning becomes increasingly necessary to ensure Jamaica's economic ambitions are aligned with the abilities of the working population, Marjorie Shaw, Program Director of the GSS Project for JAMPRO, suggests the philosophies that impact policy are available for consideration.
To Dr. Ingleton's point, I remember years ago in Singapore, when I think Singapore did really well, and I know we're tired of being compared to them, but I must say they used to host the most multinational corporations. And when one would leave, they would quickly roll out programs for all their citizens, regardless of the age bracket, to have an opportunity to learn it, to be able to respond to the needs of the next MNCs. That's what I mean about long-term planning. It's not now. There's enough data out there to see the emerging trends for HEART to position its skills training, for schools to adjust, for teachers to be retrained, to be responsive.
And that was your business report. I'm Joel Crosskill.
Stay with us. Much more to come after the break.
We a big deal when we touch the ground. Yeah, a KFC when we're pulling up.
Anything for the taste of a KFC, big deal. The time by KFC is...
Me, I go show them my way of justice.
I'm abused.
I need legal advice. I don't deserve this.
The truth of the matter is, justice there for all of it. The Ministry of Justice has trained more than 5,600 persons in restorative justice practices. More than 200,000 victims have been supported by the victim services. Legal aid has reached thousands island-wide. Make we talk it out, not fight it out. Call 888 Justice today.
Hi everyone, my name is Kurt Dunn.
Greetings from Kali's Kelly Yoga.
Hey, it's Travin Morrison, and I am your National Physical Activity Specialist. And it's time to make a move.
Jamaica, let's get moving again. Season 2 of the Ministry of Health and Wellness Jamaica Move series is here. Join us Wednesdays at 5 a.m. and Saturdays at 8 a.m. right here on CVM TV. Let's get moving.
Make a move now.
Thanks for staying with us. Time now to flip through our social media spaces.
So, what's trending in our local social media spaces? Fitz Bailey, retired Deputy Commissioner of Police, has been appointed to the same role in the Turks and Caicos Islands Police Force. This temporary appointment starts on October 7 and will last 6 weeks. Here are some of your thoughts on the news. At Candy Cups writes, everybody a lift up. At Black Beauty shares, I love this for him, really happy for him. May Jack continually bless and guide his steps. God is good every time. At McCare138 says, congratulations Mr. Bailey. Jamaica is little but is packed with so many talented people. This is another significant win for Jamaica and its people. At Clint1MC comments, I am so proud of this man. DCP Fitz Bailey is the real big man, cares what anybody wants to think. At Revision34 adds, this is it sir, good move. At Barrett Diana says, did anyone read the headlines? He will be acting for 6 weeks. And that's what's trending online today. Continue to share your thoughts with us on X at CVM TV and CVM_television on Instagram. I'm Courtney Lewis.
We now look overseas with regional and international news.
We begin with news in the region. Guyana's President Dr. Irfan Ali hailed China as one of the country's steadfast development partners. The president spoke about China's support for major infrastructural projects and human resource development. He added that the rapid pace of development locally also requires strong partnerships with other countries as the economy grows. More from Newsroom Guyana.
An economy that is built on technology, and an economy that will be carefully created and crafted to be competitive, resilient, and sustainable in the future. And that requires partnership. Today, if you look at our portfolio of investment and financing, you will see the broadening of our relationship and our partnership, spanning every corner of the globe. Because we understand that the pace of development and the pace of growth requires us solidifying existing partnership. And of course, China and Guyana's relationship